Hey Loud City fam, so Nicki Minaj, longtime manager, was allegedly offered $5 million to cut ties with Nicki, basically to cancel Nicki out of this industry. Now it's so scary, guys, because so many people have been speculating that it's Jay-Z. Jay-Z's trying to get rid of Nicki because he can't profit off Nicki and that he controls all of the female rappers in this industry. But he doesn't have any control over Nicki because, Nicki's just a tough human being and she's not going to bow down to nobody. And she's like her own boss. Now, it's really scary just to know that someone can easily find $5 million to, get rid of you. So I feel like Nicki, I'm scared. I'm very petrified for Nicki, especially the fact that she's always fighting for her career, has always said, people trying to get rid of her, people, they're trying to sabotage her tour, her career. People are being paid to make diss songs about her. And it's just so scary. Why would people try to get rid of Nicki Minaj so bad? What has Nicki done to this industry for her to be getting all of this wrath? Like, it is just so very scary. I know I've spoken about this, especially when it comes to Black women and female rappers. Like, male rappers, they could come together and they could protect one another. But when it comes to female rap, who's protecting Nicki Minaj? You'll barely see female rappers speaking up for Nicki Minaj because they're like, oh, Nicki's bitter and Nicki's falling out with every female rapper. She doesn't really have female rapper friends. And what's the reason behind that? Because they're all messy. They're all messy. Sending text messages behind Nicki's back, dragging Nicki Minaj. Look at Ice Spice. Ice Spice was messaging her ex-best friend about Nicki Minaj, calling Nicki Minaj bitter, greedy, and all those things, and saying, oh, Nicki's just so entitled. And Nicki found out about those text messages because the best friend, and this is Ice Spice's ex-best friend, exposed Ice Spice text messages, and Nicki Minaj saw them on Twitter, and Nicki unfollowed Ice Spice. So Nicki and Ice Spice, they're not really cool, and whose fault is that? Ice Spice. So I don't see why people always blame Nicki for being bitter, or she's the one who's always falling out with the female rappers. They're just so messy. The only person who has always been speaking up for Nicki is the man who signed her from the get-go, and that is Lil Wayne. Nicki is Lil Wayne's baby, and it's just so sad that Jay-Z name is being attached to this situation where, oh, he's the one who's allegedly trying to get rid of Nicki. Like, be for real. So many people would say, oh, Jay-Z's evil, and Nicki allegedly called Jay-Z evil. And I know Nicki has so many things to say, but she's not saying it. But what happened? Jay-Z was a part of the Monster song, Kanye was, and Nicki was. And, Nicki was all cool with Jay-Z back in the day, but what happened? So it's rumored that Jay-Z wanted to sign Nicki Minaj to Rock a Nation, and I know I've said this so many times, and this is alleged, by the way, and Nicki basically turned the deal down because she's super loyal to Lil Wayne, and she's not going to do Lil Wayne that. So of course Jay-Z felt like, okay, you turned down my offer. I'm like the king and I'm so entitled. So Jay-Z thought that he lost $1 billion because it's Nicki Minaj. She's very marketable, and Jay-Z sees Nicki like $1 billion. So ever since Nicki turned down the offer, apparently Jay-Z has always been out for her career. It's like a malice. It's like, oh, he feels so bad. It's almost, okay, this person didn't take my deal. I dislike them. And all of a sudden, Megan Thee Stallion is signed to Rock Nation, and they have been beefing. Megan is making diss tracks about Nicki. Megan has been super close to Beyonce, taking pictures with Beyonce. Nicki has been dragging Megan Thee Stallion also. And Megan is like, I don't know what's her problem, but I feel like Megan knows what the problem is. I think Megan was paid allegedly to beef with Nicki, and Nicki knows, and Megan is just not being truthful. So I feel like Nicki knows everything that happens in this industry and how messy people can get. So Nicki is like, you know what? Anybody who comes at me, mentions me or my family, I'm gonna respond to them. I'm gonna stand tall for my family, and I'm just not gonna go down with a fight without a fight. And Nicki is such a blessed artist because her fan base is so phenomenal and astounding. Like, listen, you do not speak on Nicki if you don't want the barbs to come at your head because there's such a protective fan base. Hence why I feel like that's the reason why Nicki still has a career, the Barbs. Like, it doesn't matter how old the Barbs get. Like, I was the Barb since I was probably 13, 12, and I'm like 23, so I'm still a Barb. You grow old to be a Barb, honey. The Barb doesn't leave you. It's like, I don't want to say it's like a cult because it's definitely not a cult. It's so genuine. It's like, okay, it's a culture, you know. It's a Barb thing. You don't only have to be a Barb to understand. But Nicki's career is still here because of her talent, the authenticity that she built her talent on, and her loyal fan base. And I genuinely feel like Jay-Z, he's running out of options. He doesn't know what else to do to basically get rid of Nicki. You know, when the Gag City tour was on, everybody was dressing up in pink, and Nicki has the highest selling tour, like the highest selling album. Megan tried, but she failed. Cardi B can't even put out an album. She she has never went to a tour. She has never toured since her career began. So, honey, Jay-Z, he is pissed because imagine you're trying to cancel someone and you're failing so miserably at canceling them. It's almost like they're canceling you for trying to cancel them. And then, boom, Diddy got locked up. And everybody has been saying, oh, Jay-Z is going to go down with Diddy because Jay-Z is allegedly in the whole acts, and Jay-Z was at them parties, and Beyonce knows everything about it, but she's acting as though she doesn't have a clue, but she's not innocent, allegedly. Now we have to say allegedly because these are rumored stories, you know, because everybody's saying the same things. Now, it's just so scary, like I said, because honey, I don't think Nicki's going anywhere. You can gang up on Nicki, you could try to take her down, babies, but she ain't going nowhere. And of course, yes, she married to a sex offender, and whatever he did years ago. He served time for it. Not that I'm defending his acts, by the way. I'll never defend what he did. But the fact that Nicki defended him, saying, he was very young and what happened never entirely happened the way the victim said it happened. Probably, something else happened that we don't know about. And plus, if we're being 100, the victim did change their story so many times, allegedly. But this fight and this battle with Roc Nation and Nicki Minaj, I don't think it's ever gonna end until Nicki really comes out with a banging story, basically full on exposing Jay-Z and Diddy for everything. Because Nicki only spoke out about a couple things about Jay-Z, abusing, not Diddy abusing women, and Jay-Z allegedly, messing with underage girls like Foxy Brown at the time, allegedly. Okay, now it's very scary because if we know, Beyonce mentioned she started messing with Jay-Z when she was 18, 19. But to be honest, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they knew each other way before she was 18. Like, please, reality check. We know when females talk like that. Like, oh, I started messing with him when I was 18 though. Girl, you mean like 16, 16, 17, probably 15. I'm not sure. Okay. But I'm going to keep it a buck. No, those are just alleged stories. I'm not saying anything factual. Okay. But Nicki needs to watch her back because they're coming at her for the career that she built. But let me know. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comment section. Do not be afraid to give this video a like, share if you care. Go ahead, click on that notification bell, and thank you for chatting with us.